Alright guys, welcome to your HTML review, and it's also kind of going to act as a startup here for helping you get going on your unit project. So I think that's what we're going to start with, is just kind of walking you through making sure that everything gets set up correctly here to make sure that we're all on the same page and knowing exactly what folders and what files that you should be creating here. So here are some of my tips and recommendations on how best to start this project. So if you go into your Tech2 folder and you look at HTML, and this is the shortcut to your class folder, you're going to see this unit project new. This is the directions. I also have copies printed out for you to grab. Now right above it you're going to see this unit planning, or this project planning guide. I highly recommend using that just because it kind of helps wrap your mind around what it is you're going to do. So here is kind of an example for you. So I'll open this up. It's going to ask you, what company will you be creating a website for? I'm going to say I'm going to have a golf store. We'll call it Goldsmiths Golf. We'll just call it Goldsmiths Golf. There we go. Super creative, right? What will your home page be saved as? Home.html. What information will be on your home page? You know what? This is where I'm going to think about what things I want to include. And this is not saying you're going to have to do these things. It's just going to kind of help get those creative juices going and getting you thinking about this project. So I'm going to say, okay, maybe I want to have store name, location, maybe my slogan, and a picture, and hours of operation. Okay, let's go with that. What will your second page be saved as? Maybe here I want to have products, and then on here I'm going to have like golf clubs, golf balls, gloves, tees, etc. More and more golf equipment. So I could just put any type of golf equipment on there. What will my third page be saved as? Let's have this. Let's do, whoopsie. Let me go up here to products and make sure I put in HTML. This one here I'm going to do employment.html. What information will you have? How to apply for a job. There we go. And then obviously I'm going to have more things than just that, but on all three pages, but that kind of gives me a general idea of where I'm going to go. It's good to start a page with at least an idea in mind. So now here's the really nice thing. If you go down here, it says after completing the top half of this page, follow these steps. So here we go. I'm going to go to my Tech2 folder. I'm going to create a folder called last name web design unit test. Boom. All right, so here we go. I'm going to minimize that a little bit. Here's my folder. Here's all of my stuff. So I might go in and say new folder. All right, Goldsmith web design unit final. You can make it shorter than that if you want. If you want to put in like your last name, I could have put in Goldsmith Golf, and I'd be fine with that if you just want to put the name of your store. So then I go into that folder. Obviously it's empty. Go back here to these instructions. Save this document into your folder. All right, so I'm going to go File, Save As. Let me go into my Google Drive, go there. Just going to save that. Okay. Open Word, save the blank document as picture references. You will use this to document the websites you get your pictures from. So here's what I want you to do next. I'm going to go on to Google. I'm going to go ahead and I might use Google to find some pictures. Now, let's say golf club, images. All right, let's say for some reason I use this one right here. Oh, I like that picture. Let's use that one instead. So I right-click on it, or click on it first. I'm going to right-click on it, then do save. Whoopsie, not save link. Save image as. Again, go to my folder. I'm just going to resave this as golf course. Notice here it is. It popped up right over here. Got saved as a JPEG. Now what I would like you to do then is look, and I have, if I go to visit page, this is my kind of link where I got the, or my source for the picture. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go ahead and go to Word. Take a blank document. I'm going to paste that in. So and I'm going to save this into that same folder as picture sources. The idea here is that again, if we're not using pictures at our own, we're at least going to give credit to where those pictures came from. So I would recommend maybe going through, getting my 8, 9, however many pictures you want. You have to have at least, I think, most of you, yeah, whatever the instructions say for how many pictures. Go ahead and get all the pictures that you want. Save them in your folder. Get the source, the web address, copied and pasted on here. That way, that part's done and out of the way. Okay, so that's on here. That's the next step. Find your images, place them in your folder, so on and so forth. Once you've completed these steps, and it says in Talk to Mr. Goldsmith, you can skip that part. I'm not concerned about that. You should start looking for your code, or start creating your code in Notepad, and let me know if you have any problems. So I'm going to close that. So I'm going to go ahead and I can leave that open. I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to go here to Notepad. Okay. So now, from here, this is what I recommend doing. I recommend every page should start out at the same, if we remember right. HTML, head, put in a title. Now you remember where the title goes, this area up here, we can see that. This is the title. The title does not show up on the page. That's something that we need to remember. So I put in title, Goldsmiths Golf. What a terrible name for a website or for a company. Close the title, close the head. Now, what I want to decide here is what my page is going to look like. So let's say I want to have a silver background. I might go in, and I want a silver background on every page. So I might go into my head section and do an embedded style sheet. Style type equals text/CSS. Remember, this stuff here is from lesson 2 from the book if you want to reference that. And make sure I close the style. If you don't close the style, nothing will show up on your web page. You'll have a blank page. I'm going to go up here, put in body, background color, silver. Okay. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to start the body. Now, let's go ahead and say I want to make the font a certain color. So I'm going to go in and let's say I want my H1. I want that to be, I don't know, blue. So I'm going to put in color blue. Blur. And then maybe my regular paragraph font, color, let's not do anything with the color. Let's go ahead and change the font family. And I'm going to have that font family be a Verdana font. So just change the font a little bit so it's not just a standard, sans serif or serif based on the browser. So now I have at least some CSS laid out. Now remember, this will meet one of your requirements on your rubric for having some embedded style. Keep in mind, if you are going to use embedded styles on your website, I do not want to open your website and see this exact stuff right here. Obviously, this and this would be the same, but we should make sure we're doing our own stuff here. If you want to do stuff with the body and the H1, fine. But again, let's just want to make sure we're not just copying mine. So now I'm going to go down here to body. Let's talk about here what I want to put in. Well, I want to go ahead and start at the very top. I'm going to give myself some space right at the top of my page. So I'm going to put in a break tag right away. That just makes my page start a little lower. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in an H1. Welcome to Goldsmiths Golf. I'm going to close that H1. And then right below it, I'm going to put like an H3. We offer the best golf products in town. Guaranteed. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in a horizontal rule. Okay. Now I can go ahead. I'm going to save this real quick. Google Drive. Go to my folder. I'm going to save it here as home.html. Let's take a view here and see how we're looking. Okay, there we go so far. I might want to do some things like center that. Right now it looks pretty bad. So I could go in and put in a center tag. Now from here on out I'm just going to do some things to make this page look nicer. What I might also want to do while I'm at it is design something here that I can use for every page. So for instance, maybe right below this horizontal rule I want to put in my links. So I'm going to put in let's say a table. How about that? So I'm going to do mine with a table. I'm going to do table row, and then I'm just going to have one row. I'm going to have a TD, 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 and I have to close each one of those. And then in each of those, I'm going to put in home, products, and employment. When I'm done, don't forget to close the row, close the table. Now notice I'm not putting a border on here, anything like that. Now with these, then I'm just going to go in and I'm going to make each of those links. href equals home.html, close the link. Go to products, ahref equals products.html. Now I haven't even made this page yet, but I know based on my planning guide that I'm going to save it as products.html. Go down to here, ahref equals employment.html. Boom. Okay, now I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back. Let's view that one more time. Let's do a quick refresh. Here's these three. Okay. Right now if I click on that, it's going to give me an error. That's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead. I've already saved it. Now watch this. File, save as, products.html. Now if you look here, I have a home page, I have a products page. This right now, I currently have the products page open. Well, the only thing I want to do here is I'm going to delete out these two things. I'm going to delete out this horizontal rule. So save that. So right now my products page is just my nav bar, and then I can go in and I can add to it whatever I deem necessary. So while I have that, this is just a blank page now, right? I just have my starter stuff. I want this on every page. So I can just do File, Save As, Employment.html. So now when I come back to work on this, if I look at my folder, I have 1, 2, 3 pages. I can open them all up. Here's Employment, there's Products, there's Home. Now all I have to do is, as I'm ready to work on them, say, okay, I'm going to work on the home page, right-click, open with Notepad. Now I can go in, put all my information that I want to have on this particular page. When I'm done, save it. Go to Products, right-click, open with Notepad. Remember, if Notepad's not showing up, go to Choose Default Program, uncheck this box, drop-down arrow, and find Notepad. That should help you get started. Actually, that should more than help you get started. Highly recommend doing the unit planning guide. It's not a requirement of this project, but if you do that project planning guide, it will really help you get started and kind of have an idea of what you want to put on each page. So I very much so recommend using that. From here on out, if you have questions, again, you can ask me. If you have questions about how to do something with your code, make sure you refer your books. You can use your previous work. You use the different resources you have at your disposal. If you were a true-to-life web designer and working out in the field, you would have many, many opportunities to use different things for resources. I want you to take advantage of that while you're in this class. Otherwise, guys, good luck. Hope you enjoy it. Take some time on it, and we'll see what they look like when you turn them in. Thank you.